Hello, all you wondrous writers. Today, for our informational report lesson, we are going to learn all about note-taking and organizing information. Our essential question or big idea that we want to we want to understand by the end of this lesson is how can authors organize facts in their reports? So if you remember last week, our last activity that we did last week was paraphrasing and plagiarism. We talked about what plagiarism was and how we can paraphrase information. I want you to take a moment and find someone in your home or write down if there's no one right next to you. You can pause this video real quick and write down or tell someone the difference between plagiarism and paraphrasing. Great, I hope you were able to write that down or tell someone. So remember, plagiarism is taking someone else's ideas and writing them as your own. So that's pretty much copying and pasting on our laptops. When we paraphrase, we take those facts and that information and we put them in our own words. So our last activity, if you remember, you were given a few task cards and you had to write those task card facts in your own words as a paraphrased fact. So now that we know how to write facts in our own words, we're going to be ready to start researching and taking notes on the subtopics we chose for our reports. We'll be using a document called a note-taking organizer that will help us kind of organize all our paraphrased facts that we find during our research. So each fact is going to have a new box in our organizer. I'll show you my example. Actually, I'll show you, if you remember, one of the topics I chose was the red-eyed tree frog, and this was my table of contents that had the subtopics that I chose of adaptation, predators and prey, habitat, and some characteristics. So when I go to your organizer here, you'll see that I have my subtopics listed. So I have my full topic, my overall umbrella, which is the red-eyed tree frog. And then these are going to be my different paragraphs or subtopics. So you'll see I have habitat, predators and prey, characteristics, and adaptations listed. So I did some research and I found some different facts and I put them in my own words. These are all paraphrased facts. So if we look at our first category, habitat, I have 3 facts here about their habitat. Red-eyed tree frogs tend to live in tropical areas. They are found in a lot of rainforests in places like Central America. And when they are first born, they live in small ponds. So you can see how each of those 3 facts have to deal with the habitat. If I move on to the next one, predators and prey, all those 3 facts have to do with predators and prey. Example, prey of the tree frog include insects like flies and grasshoppers. Snakes and even some tropical birds are predators to the adult red tree frog. And last but not least, as a tadpole, enemies include dragonflies and fish. And you'll notice here at the bottom of our graphic organizer, it says websites I found my information. So remember, even though we're kind of putting it in our own words, it's not truly our thoughts. So we still have to give credit to where we found that information. So you'll see I have a few different types of websites. I have National Geographic, the Rainforest Alliance, Soft Schools, Amphibia Web, the Animal Spot. I have a few different websites there. It's really important to search around because you might not find all your information in just one spot. So it's good to have a couple different websites to go back and forth from to compare information and choose what you want is best for your writing piece. So again, I have my topic written at the top, each subtopic, and then I started my research. So I said, what is the red-eyed tree frog habitat? That's something I Google searched, and I found a website that was really good, and I started making my paraphrased facts for the habitat. Remember, this is just a way for us to organize our information that we are finding. What do we do if we find a fact that doesn't fit in our subtopics? Well, we won't be able to use every fact that we find. There's so much information. For example, on my red-eyed tree frog, I had so many cool facts that I found and that I read that were really interesting, but we just won't be able to fit everything. It would make for a really long report. So we use the table of contents to help find our information and organize it. So if we find a fact that's really great, but when we go back to our subtopics in our table of contents and see where it can fit, we might not be able to use it. But if you remember, we've talked a little bit about like our lead and our introduction or conclusion. Maybe you'll save that fact. It's really cool to grab a reader's attention with, or it kind of wraps everything up. It's a good fact that wraps everything up. Maybe you might be able to use it in the introduction or conclusion. So maybe you just want to save it for later and then move back to looking for facts that have to deal with your subtopics and really what you need to build each paragraph. So remember, it's very, very super duper important that we put our facts in our own words. And remember, it's not just rearranging the words. I need to change the sentence. I need to put my own words in it. So I'm not just keeping all the same words and moving them around to make a different sentence. I'm adding my own words into the sentence and changing it to make it my own paraphrased fact. So I hope you have fun researching. Don't forget to open up your note-taking organizer and use that as a guide to fill in your facts for each subtopic. Have lots of fun. Please reach out if you need anything.